fighters.
Okay. You're going to box for 12 rounds. You know the rules?
Oh, yeah. No, look at him. You got a license. You leave him like that?
Okay.
Let me take.
Yeah, both of it. Both gloves. Yeah, both gloves.
Just talking about a loose lace on the glove, and they'll tape it down. That's the reason for the momentary delay here. Ray, I really have the feeling that Camacho will go right after boza-edwards.
I think he has to fool himself to try to upstage Rosario.
I'm a little skeptical. I'd like to believe that, because I thought that one of the things he did wrong in the Rosario fight was that
Hector.
he used his legs too much to try to win. He has great legs, great boundless energy, but he's got to know when to stop and fight more often. Let's see if he can
You're going to box for 12 rounds. You know the rules of boxing. Avoid using any kinds of foul. Don't throw any punches during the break. Rudy Fernandez, who's the chief second? Okay, chief seconds will be responsible for any misbehavior of your assistant second. Is that understood? Okay, seconds, come out fighting. Yeah, Rudy Fernandez.
So we're set to go. Camacho said that the only time he got hurt against Rosario was when he was on the ropes. So one point he made emphatically clear to us is, I'm going to stay off the ropes.
Camacho's ready to go to work here. I mean, he's
Stay to your
very
corner.
alert,
Macho, stay
very
to your
loose.
corner.
It's like a time bomb.
Stay to your corner, please.
He said look for more fakes, and he feels he can get away with a straight left hand.
Look for more punches here.
First one.
Pretty good exchange, and Camacho got the better of it.
Just a plotter in boza-edwards. Wants to get his opponent right in front of him to wheel away with those shots.
Opened himself up, and Camacho's right on top of him. A right hand, and boza-edwards down in the heap. That was a great right hand, but Edwards was really off balance.
Camacho went right for boza-edwards. And watch him go to work now, Barry.
Couple of low blows. And still a lot of time, minute and 45 seconds. And another good left hand by Camacho this time. Another good left hand. And boza-edwards is hurt. And still has a long way to go, halfway through the first round.
Camacho's really trying to load up here, so he's trying to miss a couple shots here. He needs to give a couple head feints like he mentioned earlier. What he's actually doing, he's giving Edwards a chance to get back to the fight by missing those very important shots.
Uppercut, and boza-edwards goes back again. A couple of good body shots also by Camacho. He's very sharp in this first round. Still 30 seconds remaining.
Okay, hold it.
10 seconds remaining, and boza-edwards will get through this first round. I think we have about a 3-minute and 15-second round here.
big round, clearly, for the champion. Very uncharacteristic, and you guys are right. He did come out after him.
When he's moving away, he can't hit you with a counter punch if he's busy moving. So if you tuck up and go behind a long jab, you'll hit him. And if you don't hit him, you won't be in any trouble. Come on. You got me? If you don't hit him with a jab, as long as you're nicely tucked up, and if you jab, if you hit him, it's fine. If you don't hit him, you won't be in any trouble. You got me? Then you can pick out everything else. But work.
We'll have a look here at what he was up to. You see it as well as I do. And I think, gentlemen, what he's doing here is he's fighting the rematch with Rosario already. He's coming out here to show Rosario that he can fight. He's more than just a runner. You think so, Ray?
Well, I think he's trying to demonstrate that he has power and he can stand in there. But he could be making a mistake here. I honestly believe he can make a mistake by getting too careless here. He'll stick to his fight plan. Use his speed and his mobility.
I think also he knows that he's not in the best condition of his life, and I think he wants to hurry this thing up and get it over with.
But you notice that Edwards has a pretty good chin. He was able to get up. He was hit by a solid left hand of Camacho.
Yeah, and by the end of the round, he had his legs under him pretty good. I don't so much mean to say that Camacho is not in great condition. What I really mean more is just the fact that he's had to lose that weight and lose it in a short period of time, so there's no telling how much he's got in the tank. Just for the record also, in our HBO remote truck, we clocked that first round at 3 minutes and 25 seconds. But things move a little slower down here in Miami.
What they want from Boza-Edwards, his corner, instructing him to fire back, because quite naturally, while he's firing back, the chances are slimmer of Camacho dominating the round.
It takes people down here an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes. Boza backs Camacho up with a right hand. Wasn't a big punch.
It's hard to see whether or not the weight plays a role here until later rounds, because what happens, you become lethargic. Hands, arms become heavy. You don't see too much foot movement by Camacho if that weight, losing that weight, is a problem here. Also, with Edwards, connected with a good right hook, he needs to keep pressuring the fight. He has to make Camacho work, use up that energy.
Good quick combination by Camacho, in and out with a combination. And a left hand by Boza-Edwards.
Camacho eyes open real wide. He sees that Edwards is for real.
And now Camacho showing Edwards a little bit of respect.
That was Boza-Edwards' round.
Knocking this guy's brains off.
Listen, pull over, fake him and then jab, and right uppercut to the body, right uppercut to the body. You're closing towards his left, right uppercut to the body, all right? But I want that jab, fake first jab, all right? Fake, jab, huh?
Move that head nice. You're doing beautiful. Boxing this guy. You're making the guy look terrible.
Just keep boxing him, You're gonna get frustrated, then you can nail him with shots. I want the rest of it is, if you keep feeding him with a jab, even if you're not hitting him, you're keeping him off balance and you'll be able to hit him with everything. You're going good.
So both corners think they're doing well.
Keep him nice. Keep it up.
Give him chance. Let's go now. Fake him, jab. All right, Hector? Then nail him with left and right uppercuts. I want these right uppercuts now.
Make a miss like you're doing.
Let's see if it can be done as easily as it can be said.
It's always a lot easier in the corners. In Camacho's corner, they told him to uppercut to the body. We'll see if he can do it. A wild right hand.
Break it up, Macho. Hey! I said break it up, okay?
I don't know, Ray. It looks like there's a little bit of, I don't know if it's confusion. I can't quite put my finger on what I see in Camacho's eyes, but it's not confidence.
Well, he's hit Boza with some pretty good shots. Was able to put him down in the first round, but Boza was weathered the storm and came back with some shots of his own. I think what Camacho's corner want from him is a little frustration. They want to see a few jabs from Camacho, loosen up Edwards and connect with his left hand. You notice the crowd now is chanting for Boza Edwards. A little fickle here, I would say.
I'd say so. Well, the underdog in boxing, always been a crowd favorite. Good right hand by Camacho, immediately right on top of Boza Edwards. Shot again by Camacho. Boza Edwards really punching from the outside in. I don't know, is that an effective tactic against Camacho?
Well, that's the only way he's going to be able to connect with some punches because Camacho is so extraordinarily fast. So you have to catch him on the outside, more so inside. Try to catch those hands down.
Well, Boza Edwards said that Camacho is a runner, and that's what he's done the last 2 rounds. He's ducked in with a couple of flurries and ducked out. Gotten on his bicycle.
Harold Letterman, our unofficial, official fight official, how do you see the fight through the first 3 rounds?
Well, Larry, I gave the first 3 rounds to Hector Camacho. Of course, I gave him an extra point for the knockdown in the first round. Cornelius Boza Edwards is chasing Hector Camacho around the ring, but Hector Camacho is landing the clean, effective punches, and on the basis of the clean, effective punches, I scored the first 3 rounds for Hector Camacho.
Are you ready to move? Otherwise, it's great. You can start putting pressure on.
Concentrate on this.
You can put pressure on later. Meanwhile, you're going good.
Just keep boxing, Nicky. You're boxing great.
Come on.
Well, in Boza Edwards' corner, they were saying put the pressure on later. So obviously the strategy there is to try to come on in the later rounds, and he walked right into a good left hand, did Boza Edwards.
And in Camacho's corner, they feel it's too dangerous now to go in. It's too early, too premature to go in there because Edwards is starting to throw some punches of his own and putting a lot of power behind it. Boza Edwards is doing a good job cutting the ring off. Moving from side to side. Because see, normally, Barry, Camacho uses the entire ring, and normally fighters may have a habit of following the fighter around. So what you need to do is step to the right, make the ring smaller and smaller.
Boza-Edwards missed the right hook. Strategy of Boza-Edwards, obviously, to try to catch him in the later rounds. Again, Camacho ducks in with a flurry and then gets out of there.
I don't think Camacho likes it there to the body either. Some pretty good shots thrown by Edwards. I'm curious to see whether or not this weight of Camacho's is a problem here, because normally a lot of those punches thrown by Edwards, Camacho would have countered. A lot of those wild winged shots thrown by Edwards, Camacho would have normally countered off those shots.
And conditioning could really become a factor in this fight. The longer it goes on. Long left hand, off balance left hand though.
Camacho can't afford to become stationary, because that's when Edwards gets his punches off. You notice the way Camacho countered there. Great hand speed.
And Camacho just clearly gets his punches off faster. Tactical fight so far for Hector Camacho.
Macho did exactly what he wanted to do in that round.
He's ducking your left.
Whether that's
Aim
enough
your
to be
left straight
impressive in this
down.
fight remains to be
Aim your straight
seen.
left to the upper chest, okay? Because if you're gonna hit him to the head, he's ducking it. So aim it to the upper chest. You understand what I'm saying? After you're jabbing him, you're frustrating him with his jab, right? Aim your left, straight left to the upper chest. You understand what I'm saying? All right, Hector, baby.
You're frustrating this guy. He's slow motion. You're frustrating this guy like crazy. He doesn't know what to do with you.
Make sure when you jab, throw it straight left to the upper chest. Don't aim to the head. You're jabbing
Good one, too. Beautiful.
There you see the jab stats.
Aim it straight to the upper chest and then come up with right uppercut. Beautiful, baby.
Question, but the Camacho gets his punches off quicker. Boza-Edwards probably can do more damage with his, but hasn't had a good shot at Camacho, who's there and then he's not. Camacho successfully doing what he said he needed to do, and that is stay off the ropes.
Well, he's making good use of that right jab, rather, because Camacho's a southpaw. He's making good use of it.
That was a good right hand by Camacho again as he just stepped in.
Camacho not wasting any unnecessary energy, which also makes me believe that he's not as strong as he used to be because of the weight problem.
Macho had Boza-Edwards down in the first round, tried to put him away, and then when Rosario got his, Boza-Edwards got his legs back under him, Camacho was content just to build up the points, which he did. There's a good right hook by Boza-Edwards. right into a right hand, but Boza-Edwards didn't quite get it off quick enough.
Boza can't really get set because Camacho's moving so well here. Camacho's not throwing too many punches, but he's just using those legs.
Remember, this is the 5th round. We're going 12, WBC rules. And Camacho's just getting his punches off quicker. That's really the bottom line so far. Crowd wants a little more action.
If Camacho is frustrating Boza-Edwards, but he's starting to frustrate the crowd. He's starting to frustrate me. I wish he would do a little bit more fighting, and a little less running. Here's the first round, so let's go back and look at where the fighting was in this fight as Camacho came out blazing. A man who can throw punches that quickly, Ray, I would think would do that more often.
Well, he quite naturally has the advantage in hand speed, but for some reason he's holding back or he's reserving.
They're getting very excited over there.
Good strong hit, Joe. And a good strong jab, Heck. Follow a nice straight left.
Let's keep boxing.
And that was Mickey Duff speaking in the corner of Cornelius Boza-Edwards, saying they're getting excited in Camacho's corner, saying that as encouragement to his fighter. Mickey Duff himself, possessor of a pretty good jab, scored with a sharp jab to the back of one of our cameramen in London. That was Boza-Edwards. Perhaps his best shot.
That punch that caused Camacho on his gloves, Barry, but he threw that punch with good intentions. Body shots by Boza-Edwards.
Neither man is marked. This is the 6th round. Oh, again, a good combination by Camacho. Macho trying to turn this into a street fight right at the moment.
Camacho just tying this man up. This type of fight that Camacho is doing frustrates fighters. It really makes them lose their cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if Camacho is trying to do just that.
Well, Camacho said when he was fighting on the street, he said on the street you could bite, you could hit the man in the back of the head, you could throw garbage cans. He said when you get in the ring, you got to fight by the rules. Off the ropes. Every time his back touches the ropes, it's almost as though somebody's pushing him off of there. Now this one has been a bit of a horse race here, not much of a fight. And the crowd reacting as you might expect they would. Not a great fight so far.
Shutting them out, Hector.
Well, history of sorts being made here tonight by the Goodyear Blimp, which for the first time in its 62-year history is covering a championship fight here at the Ava Holtz Tennis Stadium in Miami Beach.
Harold Letterman, how does this fight look to you?
Well, Larry, I'll tell you something. As a judge, you hate like heck to score a fight for a guy that's doing nothing but running away. But the truth of the matter is Cornelius Boza Edwards, even though he's the aggressor, it's not effective aggressiveness. So I have it 4-2 for Hector Camacho. He's running away, but he's still landing the clean right jabs, just as you've been calling it. I think Camacho's still landing the better punches, and that's how I see it.
Before he's left, you come on right uppercut. If he lunges towards you, counter that jab, all right?
Hector Camacho, Ray, apparently really doesn't have that much confidence in his punching ability. Otherwise, he would use it more. And Boza Edwards has taken his best shots.
Well, the sting is not really on Camacho's punches like I've seen him in the past. He's hit Edwards with some good shots. Now Edwards is on the attack to Camacho's body.
And again, that's as soon as Camacho gets against the ropes, Edwards is right on it. So obviously, Edwards went to school on Camacho's last fight with Rosario.
You have to stay close to a fight like Camacho. His hand speed, his foot speed, you gotta be inside with him. Because outside he can box your ears off. You don't have a chance with his hand speed.
And again, as we mentioned earlier, stamina really could be the telling factor, because at least on our unofficial officials card, Harold Letterman has the fight close enough that it could be won in the final rounds by either man. Remember that 2-point edge in the first round because of the knockdown. That could become a factor. Counter punching, combination by Camacho. Pretty good body shot by Boza Edwards, Ray.
Well, he dipped that one in. Very good body shot. Put a lot of body behind it. But it takes more than one particular punch. Edwards is trying to load up. He needs to put some combinations together.
That last left hook caught Camacho in the arm.
You watch what happens here. As Edwards rushes in, Camacho connects with that 1-2 punch combination. Camacho, after he throws 1-2, he needs to come back with that hook. Because the guy's chin is still up there.
Left hand by Edwards, and I think there perhaps is a little frustration on the part of Boza Edwards. Another wild left. Camacho's just not there. And Edwards, I think, got the best of that exchange. Might have been the first time tonight he did get the better of it. Stepping up the tempo a little bit here.
Beautiful. Hector.
He can't touch you.
Boza is slowing down considerably. Now, you don't have to move fast. Be steady. When you're steady, you're very effective now. Steady, and then nail him with jabs, 1-2 when he runs into you. When you're getting frustrated, nail him 1-2, all right, as he comes in. All right, baby? He's getting frustrated, he's getting slow, so you don't have to run fast. I want to be steady.
There you see Camacho leaping in for a change. Edwards, who is a true professional, stands right in there with him and meets him at the pass. Boza Edwards is a really good professional fighter. We heard in Camacho's corner that time that his trainer Chuck Kalami was telling him that he's got to do more punching, Ray.
less running and less moving and more punches. Because Camacho basically has been trying to load up with 1 or 2 punch combinations.
He was also saying that boza-Edwards is slowing down, and that does not appear to be the case.
I don't think that's true at all. I think Edwards is in the fight, and he's fighting his style. He's fighting his fight. He's just dealing with so much speed. Look at those hands from Macho. Now he's starting to put his combinations together.
Well, you heard Chuck Talhami in our pre-fight feature say you don't want to ever say anything negative in a fighter's corner. Well, he certainly wasn't doing that between these last 2 rounds.
Boza-Edwards just yelled at Camacho that he's hitting low. Camacho has been having problems with his nose ever since the Rosario fight, and I think that's the reason he's breathing from the mouth. The interesting thing about this fight, Barry, one solid punch could turn this entire fight around.
There again, you saw Camacho just get his back to the ropes and get out of there.
That's the way it was with Rosario.
Except that Rosario caught him on the ropes. Might have been a headbutt in there. Padilla trying to keep control here. And again, every time Camacho gets his back to the ropes, even for an instant, boza-Edwards tries to jump right on him with minimal success. Close quarters. A lot of punches being caught on the gloves of both men.
He's starting to really frustrate boza-Edwards. What happens inside here, Camacho throws punches and ties man up and not allow for Edwards to get his punches off. That is quite frustrating for any fighter.
You're doing beautiful now because you're not unloading with these punches. Just let them go smooth and you're doing more damage that way. Understand what I'm saying? And when you're close to him, forget the head. Go to the body. Go to that body.
Got every round. 4 more rounds. You got every round so far to walk over. He's shutting the guy out. You're going to really pepper the ring.
He's warning now. Cornelius, stick behind the jab. Don't lose your cool. And don't put your hands down and don't walk away. Stay in front of him all the time. Concentrate, right? And break his heart. Anytime you're chasing him, don't throw swings at him. The jab. Once you've hit him with the jab, you can hit him with everything else. You got it? Good. Okay.
4 more easy ones, Heck. 4 more easy ones. 4 more easy ones, Hecky, and you're home. That's it.
Ray, they're saying to Hector that he's winning this so easily. Is that a good thing to tell a fighter who's not winning it that easily?
Not at all, Larry. In fact, I recall in the piece they were saying they never discourage a fighter. Always tell them that something positive. But you have to be honest with the fighter. Camacho knows this is a rough going for him. So he's aware that he's in for a fight.
And of course, I always harken back to your fight with Tommy Hearns when Angelo Dundee in your corner said, "You're blowing it, kid, you're blowing it."
Exactly. I mean, you must tell the fighter the truth because quite naturally he knows he's in there.
Crowd really wants a little more action here. And it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Camacho basically is fighting in moderation. He's fighting spurts. He moves around the ring a few seconds, then he comes in with a few combinations, then gets back on his bicycle. In the boxing, I mean, he's on his toes, dancing and moving around.
Right hand by Camacho keeps Edwards off him. Edwards wild with his punches. Four jabs by Camacho. Edwards walked right into a right hand of Hector Camacho. Not a really punishing right hand, just a quick, straight right hand.
Take it away and I can't drag it off his head, all right? Because you're going forward, you're doing the right thing, but you've got a bit of fucking punches in it, okay? Don't go crazy, but when you get him on the ropes, throw some of your best shots around the sides, through the middle. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Stop him holding.
Harold, how's it going on your card?
I've got it a dead even fight. I've got Boza Edwards ahead 5-4 in rounds, but even in points. I think Boza Edwards is taking the fight to Hector Camacho. He's the aggressor. He's digging the hardest shots, and all I see Hector doing is flicking out that right jab and running away.
Just cut your guard up, go to work. Slip as you're going. Got a couple of uppercuts inside. You got it. Just relax, have fun, come out the jab, and just move around nice. Because you got it easy. You got every round. On my card, Camacho is ahead by more than that, and Boza Edwards is going to have to do some damage in these last 3 rounds to win.
Well, we'll see. That makes for some interesting viewing come the time that this fight gets put in the hands of the judges, if in fact it winds up happening that way. Again, all of us have seen some pretty bizarre decisions in a boxing match. There's a good combination, and Camacho opens up. And there's a left hand by Boza Edwards. I'm not really sure, Ray, that Boza was hurt that much.
I think he was, though. I mean, Camacho came to life all of a sudden. And I think he rocked Boza Edwards for a second there. Edwards just has such a solid chin, a very durable fighter.
Goes back.
Boza Edwards, he's a methodical fighter. I mean, you can pretty much figure him out because he's going to do the same thing. He won't change. He's going to be aggressive. That's why Camacho, a lot of times, they beat him to the punch.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how the judges view this fight. If they view it the way Harold Letterman did, and that Boza Edwards is the aggressive fighter and therefore worthy of winning the fight, or if they see it the way that Larry Merchant has, in that even though Boza Edwards may be the aggressive fighter, Camacho's doing what he needs to do to win.
Boza is doing what he does best, and that's being aggressive and trying to wear his man out. In fact, I had to apologize to him after the fight because I kept saying Boza rather. In fact, Boza is my idol.
Again, Camacho in with a flurry and out. Doesn't like it, but it's really not a bad tactic because Camacho said the only time he was hurt in his last fight with Rosario was when he was against the ropes. So when he gets against the ropes, he ties his man up.
When Camacho can throw and land a fusillade of punches like the one he did early in that round, you wonder why he doesn't do it more often.
You are very effective. You understand, baby? You're very effective when you study. Don't move too fast. Just steady, jab, steady, right? Counter jab, and let go, jab. Right uppercuts. Okay. Your right uppercuts are working beautiful now. You're hurting him. But you got to be steady, Hector. Don't move too much. Steady, all right?
Giving a great boxing exhibition. A great boxing.
There you see a right hand, a right, a left, a right. Tremendous fusillade of punches. A combination that you just won't see very often. And then he stops for the round. Again from another angle.
So 2 rounds left in this one. I almost hope this goes to a decision just so I can see which one of you guys is right.
That very well may be the case because Camacho is really playing it very, very cautious here. Keep using the ring to his advantage. Once in a while he puts that jab out, throws a couple of combinations, ties his man up, gets back on his bicycle, start using the ring again.
There was a good shot by Camacho. That really straightened Boza-Edwards right up. But again, one punch.
You know what I see in Boza-Edwards is the fact that Camacho is able to see and sense a lot of his punches coming because Boza telegraphes that left hand. Telegraphing, I mean, he cocks it back just as for a second, and Camacho's able to get away from it.
I get the feeling perhaps Boza-Edwards might be getting a little tired here.
He looks in pretty good shape to me, Barry. He's not breathing heavily, and he's just doing what he has to do here. I don't think he can do any more. He doesn't have fast hands. He's not particularly a power puncher, and he's in here with one of the quickest fighters in the lightweight division.
That shot came closer to you than it did to Camacho.
Boza would do a better job if Macho was stationary. This movement here is just totally throwing Boza-Edwards off balance. He can't get set.
Ricky Duff yelling, let him run, let him run. Thinking that if he runs, he's not going to win the round, which is the line of thinking of Harold Letterman here. And we will go to Harold Letterman at the end of this round and see what he has on his card. And Harold, how do you see it going to the final round?
Well, I've got Hector Camacho ahead by 2 points. I give Hector Camacho rounds 10 and 11. For some reason, Cornelius Boza Edwards just stopped digging the shots that he was digging in the earlier rounds. And Hector is continuing to bounce those right hands off of Cornelius.
It depends.
Pardon?
Okay. When he comes to you straight, be ready for him.
Hold it, just let it all hang out. Please, you've got a hell of a chance. Please let it all hang out, right?
Tuck his chin in.
Fight for your life.
Right.
Tuck it.
It's the last round, Hector.
Okay, man. Do your thing, man. Big finish, man. Big finish.
Stay in there, 3 minutes.
The guy couldn't win it.
He's fighting now. 2 gold medals.
I've had the feeling in this fight on occasion, Ray, that Camacho, after landing some punches early in rounds, has been sort of freezing the ball or running out the clock. Let's see how he can close the deal here.
I think we'll see a more aggressive Camacho now. I think he wants to close the show. We'll probably see more punches by Camacho, although presently he's not doing anything. It was ollie shuffled by boza-edwards.
Sort of an ollie shuffle. Well, a little bit more of an Edwards stomp. No time to showboat here so far as Boza-Edwards is concerned. He's got to go get it. That's where he wants him, but he didn't get it.
I think Camacho's going to catch Boza reaching in because he's popping. He's able to measure him with his jab. And I think he's going to come and counter with the left hand.
There was a good right hand right there. And Camacho trying to end it the way he started it. Now he turns Edwards around, and that was a good uppercut. Camacho really feels that Boza-Edwards has nothing left, and I'm not sure but that he's right.
Camacho is just so quick. The crowd doesn't particularly like this showing, but it was a good. Camacho did the right thing.
He's an artist. He really did what he felt I'm sure he had to do. He certainly did what he told us he was going to do, and that is not get on the ropes, do a lot of side to side, and keep his head moving. He felt he kept his head too straight, too upright against Rosario.
Macho keeps checking his head.
And so this one is just about over, and there will be no knockdown. No knockout, I should say. One knockdown that was in the first round, and this one's history. Well, a less than scintillating performance, really, on either fighter's part. All the excitement coming early in this evening of boxing as Edwin Rosario knocking out Livingstone Bramble in quick fashion, and most impressively so. Hector Camacho then coming on, and let's, for just a moment, take a look at Harold Letterman's final card.
Well, Barry, I scored the fight 7 rounds to 5 in favor of Hector Camacho, and I gave him an extra point for the knockdown in the first round. But I want to tell you something. I just really didn't like the type of style that Hector fought. He ran away. He didn't give the fans their money's worth, so to speak. Boza pressed, but in the final 3 rounds, he just didn't throw enough punches to pull the fight out. I thought it was close, but I thought Camacho won 7-5 because he landed the clean right jabs while he was running away. He ran away, but he landed the sharp right jabs, and Boza just didn't have it in the final 3 rounds when he needed to really come on to take the fight away from Camacho. And that's how I saw it, Barry.
Well, it wasn't really a Rembrandt, Ray, but again, I guess a W is a W for Camacho if, in fact, he gets it.
I think what will be fair is to ask Camacho whether or not the weight weakened him. And like in the first round, Camacho was aggressive like I thought he would be. Here he's connecting with those combinations, some missing, some catching Edwards on the arm. But the one that did the job was the shot to the head.
Yeah, that first left hand was the one, and that one really more knocked him off balance than it did knock him down, really. Looked like he was back on his heels when the punch came.
Well, that shot there pretty much started everything, and it came in such success, and Edwards was totally bewildered by the hand speed of Camacho. But I'm curious to see whether or not Camacho said that weight really weakened him.
Let's take a look at our final punch stat numbers, and as you can see, Camacho did work a little bit harder than Boza-Edwards. Boza-Edwards was really not very efficient with his punches. 21% to Camacho's 42, and let's see if in the judges' eyes that's the way they saw it. The ring announcer, Frank Freeman, and the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Rafael Cartaya scores it 115-112. Judge Eugenio Garcia scores it 120-108. And Vince Delgado scores it 118-109 for the winner and still WBC lightweight champion, Hector Macho.
Well, I think it's pretty interesting, Ray, that some people saw it the way Harold saw it. Some people saw it the way Larry saw it amongst the judges. One scored at 120-108. That was pretty much the way Larry Merchant saw it. One scored at 115-112. That was the way Harold Letterman saw it. And the third was in the middle. So I guess the people that we had watching the fight saw it pretty much the same way as the judges.
Well, I gave the edge to Camacho. Camacho threw a lot of punches, moved a great deal, moved a lot of times unnecessarily. But I feel that Camacho threw the most punches.
But it looked like he really came out of the gate and said, I'm going to do away with this guy. And then when he realized maybe he had a little bit tougher nut than he thought, he said, okay, now I'm going to do what I have to do, not what I want to do.
Camacho had 2 fights tonight. He tried to overshadow the performance by Rosario's stoppage of Bramble, and he was fighting this guy here. It was just too much pressure, I think.
All right, we're going to go up to the ring right now where Larry Merchant is with the winner and still the champion, Hector Macho Camacho. Larry, you got it.
Okay, Hector Camacho. Hector, you came out blazing almost like you were trying to show that you could do better than Edward Rosario. Was that what you were up to?
Not really. You know, I was the main attraction. It was my show. It's like I told you. Didn't I tell you Rosario was going to beat him? Bramble wasn't nothing. He never fought nobody like Rosario. Larry, hey, like I said, I can't make the weight. No excuses for nothing. I feel happy. All that bragging is over.
You feel like this was too much for you, making the weight? You don't feel like you fought a good fight?
No, I feel like I fought a sharp fight. But I wasn't strong enough to stay there and I'll slug him. And I told you before that. I stood 2 days without eating.
Well, if you were so successful in the first round slugging with him, why didn't you go back at him?
Hey, you heard that commercial at the HBO do? That to be the best, you gotta beat the best. I fought one of the best.
What are your thoughts about the weight? Did you find yourself weakened during the fight because you had worked so hard to get the weight?
In the later run, I wasn't able to stay there and push it out. So to outstand my legs, I had to box and stay sharp. I was sharp, and as you know, he's a strong guy. I was always on the move. I wasn't really set to really hit him off a clean shot.
Are you disappointed the fans seem to be booing you?
No.
Rosario seemed to steal the show?
No way. Hey, power to Rosario. He fought a great fight. He beat a good fighter. As in my language, I say the opposite, a scrub, you know, because he was mouthing, disrespecting me, and calling me the bad guy. Me and Rosario are the #1 fighters, the #1 hero in Puerto Rico. And one day, we're going to get it all, but I'm going to go up to Japan, get the junior welterweight belt, and we get it on there.
Are you saying that you're not going to try to unify the title with Rosario as soon as you can?
Right now, I got the Japan guy waiting for me. Either he's going to fight a rematch with the guy that he beat, which is Alessandro.
You're going up to junior welterweight, you're saying?
No question about. Hey, this is my old man. I love him. Hey, believe him. I ain't saying.
He's not leaving the 35. No, you're trying to...
Thank you very much, Hector, and back to ringside.
All right, so we are back at ringside here, and now Hector Camacho says that he is going to move up in weight, and Ray Leonard, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the fact that weight was a factor here, and Camacho admitted that. And he wants to move up because he wasn't as strong as he normally was in the past.
So Hector Camacho sort of pleased and by the same token displeased with the performance that he had tonight. How would you evaluate it?
Well, I think Camacho did the right thing. I mean, he felt that he wasn't strong, Barrett. He felt that the safest thing for him to do was to utilize the ring, in which he did, although the crowd did not particularly appreciate it. He did what was in his best interest.
Is it, do you feel, the fact that Rosario, for all intent, handled him? He won the decision, but he really, maybe he didn't win the fight, I don't know. But he really doesn't want a part of Rosario again?
Well, no, I don't think Camacho's afraid of anyone. I think the fact that Camacho sees it's in his, good favor to move up in the weight division and hopefully have Rosario come up there to meet him.
What do you suppose Jimmy Paul right now is thinking and Edwin Rosario is thinking if in fact Hector Camacho does move up a division? That'll bring Chavez probably down into this division, so it'll still be a strong division.
Well, Rosario has made a very profound statement tonight. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's go back up to the ring. Larry Merchant is with Cornelius Boza Edwards. Larry?
Boza-Edwards, he seemed to shock you in the first round the way he came out, did he?
Yeah, he shocked me because he caught me a little bit off balance, and he threw it. That's his best shot. He's got 1-2. But apart from that, all he does is flick. I mean, how can a guy win a fight with flicking and he's doing all the running? As far as we know, boxing is that you have to take the fight to someone to win. You don't run all night long and then flick, and then you call that a winning.
Well, it seemed, however, that even though that's his style, that he was landing more punches. Is that more of it?
He wasn't. Those were flicks. As far as I'm concerned, it's the impact fight, and it's America that started. It wasn't the British. That whoever hit the impact is the winner. And what he does was what
you're
he was
saying
doing,
that he fought more like a British fighter than an American fighter, and you fought more like a runner.
He was fighting like a runner. He was running like a rabbit, flick and run. And then when I come close to him, he would run. I mean, you don't call that a fight.
Give me your opinion on a Rosario Camacho refight.
Well, that's
rematch.
the same thing. He was doing the running, and I don't know what the rematch will go like. If they go on giving Camacho the 120 and 108 Boza Edwards, they will probably give it back to him.
You're understandably upset. Thank you very much, Cornelius Boza Edwards. I have a few thoughts about the fights tonight. One is, I think that Edwin Rosario has emerged now as the star of the best division in boxing, the lightweight division. I guess we don't have a real tournament going here to unify all the titles, but what I'd like to see is just all of these guys keep fighting each other. Jimmy Paul against Rosario, and Rosario against Camacho, and the youngsters, Vinny Pazienza and Meldrick Taylor and Whitaker and Cesar Chavez, all very good fighters or prospects. They should just keep on fighting each other endlessly, giving us all our money's worth, entertaining us, making money for themselves. It would be prize fighting heaven for fight fans. Now back to Barry and Ray.
Okay, thanks very much, Larry Merchant. Let's go back to the events of this evening now. It's been a long night. Edwin Rosario, of course, he scored a dramatic knockout victory over Livingston Bramble. Let's go back and show you that once more. Ray, I really didn't think this fight was going to go. I thought perhaps Rosario might win the fight. I had no idea that it would end this quickly and this impressively.
Well, I didn't know who was going to really win the fight. I knew both guys had the power and talent to defeat each other. But here we see Rosario completely dominating the second round. He hurt Bramble with pretty clean right hand. There's another right hand that sent Bramble to the canvas. It was a quite impressive performance by Edwin Rosario.
Livingston Bramble said that he had a thumb in the eye, and that's what caused him to stay down. But you had the feeling maybe he did, maybe he didn't, I don't know. But there were enough punches there that obviously did some damage.
Well, Rosario, he threw a lot of, you have to watch his short uppercuts, right hands, left hooks. Beautiful execution of punches thrown by Rosario. I tell you, Rosario's there for everybody now.
That was pretty good. Did you ever think about fighting?
Oh, yeah, I thought about it.
Let me ask you another thing, too. One final question about Hector Macho Camacho. Now, he moves out of this division. And the same thing with you, where you were a guy that not only was a champion, but you were a champion who could sell tickets. I don't see anybody else in the lightweight division who's capable of doing that. And I have to think people like Rosario and Paul now might